you doing? I'm meteorologist Paul Diano with your Western Washington Weather Webcast for Thursday, February 11th. Your weather headlines: rain is here. Rain's sticking around for a while. We are warming up back to the 50s, but it's going to be wet for a long time. But looking even further than the next 7 days, which I'll show you in a second, there are signs now that El Nino has peaked for this winter and is now coming down off of its strongest point. What does that mean for the rest of winter and early spring? I'll have the answer coming up in a second. First, let's talk about what we have coming up for the next couple days. Those are your weather headlines. Now we're talking about the storm track is back. It's not splitting down to California and northern British Columbia. It's kind of aimed right toward southern British Columbia. That's pretty close to us. So this storm moving through today and tomorrow, giving us some rain. Another one coming, yet another one up in the pipeline, following these train tracks in the atmosphere, heading close to us. So with several storms coming, we're going to keep the rain chance elevated every day for the next several days into the holiday weekend. President's Day, of course, on Monday. Put a flag on there for you. Rain likely today. Showers likely for Friday and Saturday. But check out the highs. We're in the 50s for the next couple days. A little cooler, but still wet on Sunday and Monday. And even some showers sticking around for Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're definitely back into a wetter pattern after really the entire month has not been that wet at all. The first 10 days we had less than an inch of rain. We'll see a couple inches of rain definitely over the next couple days. But let's talk about El Nino. Every Monday, the Climate Prediction Center puts out a explanation as to where we are right now with El Nino, and the trend has been over the past couple weeks that we're coming off the peak. El Nino has peaked, and now it's coming off the peak. So the question is, what does that mean for our weather? Well, here are the numbers to show you exactly where El Nino is, and you see right there that 1.8 degrees Celsius above average. Check what's been going on the past 10 years or so. This is the strongest El Nino we've had since the late 90s, so it's been here for a while. We had a very, very strong El Nino signature in the wintertime, and these are all different computer models, each color is a different model, predicting where we're going from this point forward. Notice, here is where we are right now. Almost all of them bring us off of that peak soon. We're already there, but now we're coming off the peak and continuing to go down, and once we hit this line right here, that means we're out of El Nino and into a neutral phase, which would be this area right here. So what you're seeing is El Nino has peaked, and now we're looking at how long a weaker El Nino will last. And you can see right here, once again, we're at the high point, the peak of the mountain, if you will, and the general projection is to go down. Now, two things this tells me. One, El Nino's peak, so its strongest effect is what's going to be happening right now. Two, I see no signature here that says we're going to fall below this line and get into a La Nina. A lot of people are like, okay, well, is next year going to be a La Nina winter where we're going to have a ton of snow and a ton of rainfall? There's no sign right now that we're going to fall immediately from an El Nino this winter into a La Nina, the opposite, cooling in the equatorial Pacific next year. As a matter of fact, even though El Nino is weakening, there is a lag time in its impact. So you can see right here, this is looking at a FMA, so that's February, March, and April. This is a 3-month predictor, and the one spot in the country that's the most likely to be above average temperature-wise is right there in western Washington and the Pacific Northwest. So we'll still be feeling the impacts of El Nino for the next couple months. A drier than normal and warmer than normal winter and early spring is still forecast, but the worst or the strongest of El Nino may have now passed us, and we're coming off of that top. That said, it's going to be pretty wet the next couple days. Rain likely Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with highs in the 50s. That is your Western Washington Weather Webcast. Have yourself a great day. We'll update it again tomorrow.